welcome to episode 273 of That Great Business Show, where we make business fun. And if you don't know what that means, have a listen back to Connecticut-based bar owner Shane Carty on episode 271. The reaction has been superb. He is such a laugh. And there's one story, it's about 16 minutes and 30 seconds in. If you don't laugh at it, I'd see a doctor. That Great Business Show is brought to you by our pals down in Mayo, De Facto Shaving Oil. It is the world's best shaving oil, made in Ireland, sold worldwide. And when I say it's sold everywhere, we also mean it's used everywhere, wherever you shave. DeFactoShave.com. And on this episode, we are talking about education, not the textbooks, not the grades, the business end of the classroom. Because while we obsess over CAO points, there is a big hidden cost that nobody else is talking about. Those are the thousands of students who don't make it past first year in college. The Leaving Cert might be that rite of passage, but for many families, it's more like a right old mess. The official figures show that about 1 in 8, 1 in 8, do not make it past first year to second year in third level. That's about 5,000 students. And that's a lot of human capital, as well as about maybe 15 million just in fees, or 45 million if you count in accommodation. And you could actually make that possibly higher again, and we'll get into that. Joan Broderick was a nurse. Now she has built Pathways.ie, a business trying to fix a problem. Welcome to That Great Business Show, Joan Broderick.
Hi, Conall. Thank you very much for having me here today.
15 million is the minimum number. You have managed to bring that in some cases. I've seen on your website or somewhere where I was reading about you, tipping into 100 million a year.
I know. Yeah.
Tell us about that number. Where does that number come from?
So what I'm going to tell you about is really the hidden reality of what happens in Irish education. And that is every year, 60 to 65,000 students do their Leaving Cert. And we put a lot of energy into getting them there. Academically, they're so well educated. We spend a lot of time telling them about the CAO forms and how to fill them out, and guidance on careers, and giving them exam techniques. And yet the HEA gives us a statistic that 1 in 8 students...
That's huge. I did not know that. That is huge.
Yeah, it is huge. And those students are left feeling deflated. They're left feeling, why me? Why did that happen? And just as importantly, of those 5,000 students, are 5,000 families affected by it as well. So they're asking the same questions and wondering how can they support their student at home now who, vast majority of them would have gone in with high expectations going to college, and it just didn't work for them.
We're all excited going to college, and we're all excited for the kids go to college and. However, because it happened to you, something happened. What was the issue that brought this, where you saw this is a problem that I could fix? Yeah,
so it's a long time ago now. I have 3 children, and 2 of my 3 children didn't progress from year 1 to year 2. So they would have been one of the HEA statistics. And at that time, we didn't know the rules about withdrawal. And
I think this is going to come as a little bit of a shock to people.
So... my son, and I probably didn't ask him in time either, so, partly my own fault. We didn't know the withdrawal dates, and he put his hand up a little bit too late to withdraw without a penalty. And so he repeated his first year, and that cost our family €9,000.
And as I have said to you before we started chatting, that's 9,000 after tax. So roughly speaking, 18,000. So very quickly, if you do the maths, you can get up to a very big figure. And that's every year. 5,000. What's gone wrong? I know I'm not going to ask you about HEA stuff, but 5,000, that's too high, isn't it?
I just think there's a gap in our education. So if you look at every other stage in the education sector, from preschool to primary, there's a transition programme for teachers, for SNAs and for parents. From primary to secondary, there's a transition programme for teachers, for SNAs and for parents, the people who know the students the best. And then from second to third level, there is no transition programme. So I think there's a gap there where we need to prepare our students far better for adulthood and, give them the skills to budget, give them the skills to look about sharing accommodations, like they're leaving home and then, they're getting lost and,
they're trying to find accommodation.
I don't have the answers to that, really. But what I do say to students is, certainly with parents and students when they come on my webinar, I talk to them. And I talk to them about accommodation in terms of leaving home, say, coming to a big city, going to college. Have a look at digs. I was a digs host family for many years, and it was such a great buzz in the house having students. Like, I had my own 3, but I had kept a student or 2 as well.
You should explain a little bit of background, because Joan is not just a random parent. Give us a little bit of background why you might have ended up having a big interest, one in third level education, but also in the digs.
Okay, so so my background is I am a nurse. I'm a qualified nurse, and I've spent most of my career working in the education sector, almost 30 years.
With IADT in Dublin here, yeah?
That's right. A fantastic college, a great college, if people were looking at places to go. So I worked in the Student Health Centre for many years, and I was also seconded to the Access Office, the Access to Education. And I coordinated dormant account funded projects for disadvantaged students. So they were students pre-entry, post-entry, mature students, students from ethnic minorities, all students that would be coming in at a disadvantage in education. So I spent many years, and I could see that students, a lot of them were coming in academically. They got in with their points. They did well. They got their CAO, and then they floundered.
But isn't that the point, that they are getting their points, they are allowed in, and then doesn't work? So there is a problem. It's kind of glaringly obvious now that you've pointed it out.
And that's where so the other part of me then, so I am a nurse, I'm a mom, I was a host family for students, so I've lived with students for a long, long time.
How many students over the years might you have taken in? Round figures.
Maybe 10 to 20.
Oh, 20. That's
maybe
a lot.
2 a year for 10 years maybe.
Okay.
Great, and I'm still in touch with many of them. And
but digs kind of became unfashionable, I think, now again. I don't know why I have a view on this. Not cool, exactly, because you want to be doing things.
And most families are good families. Most families, it works for both sides.
Yeah, but is it not fair that at that age, this stage nowadays, that young people want freedom? You know what I'm talking about.
They had the freedom when they lived with me. They had a key to the door. If they weren't coming home, I just needed a text. That was all. Same as my own children, I treated them.
No, I'm talking about bringing people home.
Oh, yeah. Well, that can be difficult. Yes. Yeah. Well, that could be difficult.
Anyway, we've gone off piste as usual.
Yeah.
Back to the business.
So what happened then was I took retirement back 2 or 3 years ago, and I ended up going back to college last year, and I went to UCD Innovation Academy, and that has been such a game changer in my life.
Talk to me about that, because we love that.
So I'm not young. I had things I wanted to do, but I didn't know what. And so I took my early retirement. It was after COVID, and the way COVID burnt us all out, and especially in health and things like that. It was I just thought there was time for change for me. And I was lying awake one night in bed, and I was scrolling, which you shouldn't do at all. And I saw a Springboard programme come up, and I looked at that and I said, "Oh yeah, that looks good." And I went.
Hang on a second now. You were scrolling, but did you look for things I could do, or did Springboard?
It was an ad that just popped up.
That means that we're listening to you. Go on.
The whole universe was listening on that phone. So it was the Innovation Academy, Creativity, Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So I thought about it, and I said, yeah. And I rang up and I spoke to the most lovely lady in administration there. And she said, and I said, I don't know if I'm too old for this. I don't know what I'm. She really gave me the encouragement. And she said she did it herself and she didn't look back. So I said, oh, go for it. So I put in my application and I got accepted, which I was thrilled about. And I rocked up to UCD last September 2024.
Put on the scarf and everything. Did you do the whole student thing?
I might have worn blue, I don't know. And I became a student. And I went to orientation week, and I went around and I joined the Table Tennis Society. And I joined the Mature Student Society. And I used both of those. And the table tennis now was amazing. I joined the gym as well. €80 for the year for gym. Where would you get it? Like, it's just amazing.
But did the course cost you money?
No, because it was Springboard. So I was signing on for credits and I was eligible
Fantastic.
for it. So I'm saying to people out there, if they're listening to this and they're mature in years, please, if you're entitled to signing on for credits or getting...
What does that mean, signing on for credits?
So I wasn't getting any money from the social welfare, but I was signing on so that my old age pension would be stamped. So it's a term, signing on for credits. You sign on once a year when you're over a certain age.
Anyways, you were able to get your Springboard for free, and you also got the gym for 80 quid. So you're doing good.
So I was.
So what did you learn at Springboard? What was the?
So it
bit of a shock to the system. You had been queen of your own palace for a long while.
Yeah, you could say it that, but I worked as a team always. So
yeah, but like people listen to people like you.
Yes, people do talk and listen, and I like to hear what people have to say, and I'm not jumping in with advice, but I try to guide people, and that's, I suppose, where Pathways comes. So in the Innovation Academy, I met the most amazing lecturer called Lolly Mancy, Dr. Lolly
We've had
Mancy.
Dr. Lolly Mancy here, PhD.
Absolutely
She loves
amazing.
that.
She is amazing, and also two other lovely lecturers, Gwen Kenny and Rachel Murphy.
I don't think we've had them on.
But
They
you should
are
have.
welcome
They are
to come on.
amazing. Amazing women.
And Lolly's welcome as well, of course. We love Lolly.
So they instilled this whole creativity sense in my head and made me look at my life and what I was bringing with me in a way that I had never thought about before. So if you like, I had thought for many years that parents are left outside the gates of third level college. And I never did anything with it. And then I went to the Innovation Academy and I started learning about business model canvases and learning about design sprints and learning all of these fantastic ways of thinking. And during the programme, we were asked to come up with an idea that we might like to develop, or we don't have to do it, but whatever. And I was thinking about making handbags and doing all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And I just said, Joan, cop on and just stick with what you know.
And before you get to the idea, tell us about, don't name them if you don't want to, but the kinds of people who were in class or on the...
Very mixed group. In this
young, old, borrowed and blue?
Ranging from maybe late 20s up into our 60s. So very, very... I wasn't the oldest and I certainly...
10 of you, 20 of you, 40
30 of us.
Yeah.
There was 30 of us on that programme and we still are a very connected group.
And how your lectures, how many lectures a week? Well, how intense was it?
Two mornings a week.
And
self-directed learning in the afternoon.
Did you have to do your Ecker?
We had a little bit of Ecker to do. A lot of group work. We were thrown in right in the deep end from the very word go. We were given. We were broken into random groups, and we were randomly selected by where you sat on the first morning.
Okay.
So that was really interesting because when I went into that room on the first morning, I wasn't the first. But I was early enough because I'm never late. And I went and there was 4 people and they were in a great huddle talking. And I said, I'll start a new table. And I went to a new table. And I sat at that table and I was on my own and nobody else came into the room. And I said, Joan, get up off your butt and go and join them. And I got up off my butt and went and joined them. And then they became our group.
Okay.
And so our first project. So that was how that all happened. So
anyway, you turned your back on handbags.
Yeah.
Were you actually thinking of handbags?
No, I was only looking at sustainability and I was looking at the circular economy and I was doing all. My brain was just going at a rate of knots.
Which is good.
Yeah.
So eventually, Lolly and pals beat all of that out of you and said, let's do something that you know about.
So we had to stand up and talk a lot about different, I wasn't used to maybe projecting my voice out to groups that much, a more one-to-one person. And so I had to stand up. So we were given the project in November 2024 and in January I had to do a presentation about whatever it was I was bringing to the table and it came out to be Pathways.
But hang on a second now, you're not just, you weren't sitting at your kitchen table and said, this'll do.
No, I went to open days and did research and I went and talked to parents and I talked to students. I did little focus groups and... Any
naysayers? Anybody say, come on, go back to your handbags or...
No, actually,
okay,
no.
Good.
And even the whole way through all of this, it's amazing the positive reactions I get about what I'm doing. Because it's not cool to say parents need to be educated about third level. Nobody wants to bring a parent into third level because they're 18-year-old, and the colleges are GDPR, and they,
that one that gets me, because it's my money that's sending them there. And
well, they say it's the students' money. It's the students they charge.
Yeah, except it comes out of money.
We all know that.
And I don't mind what they're doing. It is, but if they're not turning up, for example. Anyway, back to Pathways now. You have 10 minutes odd to tell the world about Pathways and why people should be beating the path to Pathways.
Okay. So Pathways is a platform. It's a social enterprise platform. And
what does that mean, a social enterprise?
So I really want to bring this platform free to end users so that society can benefit from the knowledge that I'm bringing at low cost or no cost.
But that's not a business.
Well,
you know what I mean? Did not even tell you that you have to have income to keep?
Yeah, well, I would like income for myself, but at the end of the day, I'm not a profit making huge. I'm not looking to set the world on fire with.
But if this works, you might find that there are similar problems in the UK or further afield that you can bring this to.
I know, and I was looking at that, and I looked at Denmark, and they every student in Denmark, there's no withdrawal penalties cost-wise. It can withdraw from any programme at any time, at any stage, and there's no penalty.
But does that cause its own problems?
Well, it probably does, in the end of the day. So there's probably no 100% right way. But going back to Pathways.
So if I go into Pathways.ie, which I have done, and what as a parent, what can I get out of it? Are you going to, is it seminar, webinar?
So I follow 3 strands really. So I have webinars and online resources available to students and to parents. It's mostly parents, but sometimes parents and students come on the webinars together. Usually it's in a group, but they can book it singularly, or they can book it for a group of PTAs, say, like the parent-teacher associations, like one school I'm doing now in 2 weeks' time. I'm just posting one for their school, for their Leaving Cert students.
What do you tell them?
So I talk to them. I go through. So with the parents, it's different than what I do with the students. So with the parents, I talk to them about everything outside of the lecture hall. So I don't get into the academia at all. I'm not a guidance counsellor at all. I am a person who has experienced college life and knows outside of the lecture halls what happens. So I talk about the student support services and say that the counselling service, like the services in colleges are so highly staffed with highly educated, the best of educated professionals in these services. Like the counsellors are counselling psychologists. You're not going to get higher than that in counselling. Nurses and doctors are trained and specially trained for student health. Like we have a way of dealing with students when they come in and to find out what their hidden agenda might be. So there's a lot of that. The learning supports are staffed by educational psychologists, highly skilled, and they're there for every student, and parents don't actually know that. So like if your student is struggling with a maths element to their programme, say psychology has a maths element to it and statistics, and your young student absolutely hated maths and didn't realise there was maths on the course and hate this and doing that, whatever. There's maths supports.
Sounded like it hurt that.
There's maths supports in every college there for every student to use. And parents don't know these little things. They don't know that the cost of a GP is probably 10, 20 euro in the college, whereas outside the college gates, you're going to pay 75 or 80 euro. And they don't understand it. And when I went to do my research and talked to students on or to parents at open days, I think maybe 2 out of maybe 35 knew about the health centre or about the costs and students. So that's really interesting. So it's really the practicalities of college that I want.
You can see that there's a business in that. But what you have to do is charge. And I couldn't find on your website what you actually charge. There's no little button saying buy now.
I know. Well, for my webinars at the moment, it's 20 euro a person.
For nothing.
It's for nothing. But if you got enough on it, it'd be a start.
No, I mean, that's good for you. But I mean, for anybody who's trying to pay 20 quid, you're already saving them 50 quid just on a doctor's visit.
I could be saving them 9,000.
Yeah.
Because their student might if they ask the questions at home, without prodding and poking them. So I talk to parents about being mentors and not managers of their student. You know, it's not our business. They're now adults and they're going to make their own way. And I really do talk to parents about not honing in and being a helicopter parent and letting them go and only ask when you have to ask, because you will be told eventually if you slow it all down.
Did you not see the latest research now says that so-called young adults don't actually grow into proper adults until they're 32?
Okay.
So 18, you're only halfway almost to 32.
I know, but they're at 18, they're just so ready. I talk to sixth year students and I go into the classroom and they are sitting on the edge of their seats. They are so ready to go. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
It really is exciting. And I never want to take that away because it is a special time in their life.
So back to your business, you'll do webinars, you'll do individuals.
I do the parent talks. I go into schools and do in-person talks with sixth years and with parents if they want. And then I do the one-on-one family chats, I call them. And that's when maybe a parent is struggling with their student at home and they mightn't just need to hear themselves talk. They need to hear what, and sometimes they don't bring their student with them. And I don't mind talking to them as they're the person with the issue. And oftentimes I'm just going to reassure them that their student is probably fine. Like one mother rang me recently and her daughter is doing engineering, got a great leaving cert and isn't happy and wants to do an apprenticeship engineering programme.
We are so for apprenticeships on this
amazing.
podcast.
And it is amazing a step way. And now, so I spoke to this mother and at the end of the conversation, like her daughter has done all the homework and has shown passion and they have a business in construction or that sort of area. And I'm saying to this mum, why would you not let her do what she wants to do?
Yes.
So,
and what did the mum say?
And at the end of it, she says, maybe you're right. And she just wants to get the nuts. She wants the hands-on nuts and bolts of her profession. And she will learn, she'll be educated as well. And
this is the young lady, yeah.
The mother. It was the young lady that was looking to leave engineering.
I bet you the mammy wanted the piece of paper.
She was just afraid that she was going to lose her third level, and we have to get over that.
We have to get rid of the whole idea of the piece of paper.
So I talk about that to parents as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully I've given that mum the confidence to say, go girl, and do what you have to do.
So presume that there of the 5,000 that you can't do them all, so therefore you're going to have to grow your business.
I know, and I'm only at baby steps. I'm only building little
But Lolly told you've got to grow.
I know, and even being here I'm growing, aren't I?
You were a little bit reticent, but now I told you chat, and you do chat because you're a chatter. And I'd say, that's how it works. So the future is...
I was really lucky. I got chosen to go on the Ideas Academy with the Social Entrepreneurs Ireland. So 130 people, it was a competitive pitch. 130 people last May pitched for a place on the programme and they picked 20 of us.
Good for you, well done.
So I got on that, and that was a real validation of what I was doing, was something really positive.
You see, every parent listening says, oh yeah, that'd be useful. Yeah.
So the next stage of that is now, we're coming to the end of the Ideas Academy and there's a pitch now tomorrow. And so they picked 12 of 20 to pitch tomorrow for funding.
And you're one of those?
And I'm one of the 12 tomorrow.
Congratulations on that. All of this is new to me.
Yeah,
so that's brilliant.
I know. Good. I forgot to tell you. So much going on in my head, it's just buzzing.
And if you get funded, what's the idea? What
I'm going to do with that funding is I'm going to bring my pilot to DESH schools and to DESH students and their parents.
And for those who are not familiar with the term, a DESH school is a disadvantaged school.
It's a disadvantaged school. It's
of which there are many.
Many. A couple of hundred in Ireland. And so that's the first thing I want to do. I want to go to libraries and I want to do table chats. I want to educate whatever community will come and talk to me, whether it's parents, young, old, whatever, and do some table chats in libraries.
Great
and
idea.
Then I want to
Lovely.
do online resources and toolkits.
I'd say the online is going to be where you're going to do it, because you cannot go library to library. You can, of course.
I know,
but
I'm only one person at the moment.
There are not enough days in the year.
Yeah, and then I want to evaluate it all with the idea of a national rollout of some sort. And I want to do something around that teacher education, SNA, because they know their sixth-year students the best. And really, if we can hone in on that and give them a little bit more training as to how to prepare these students to go from sixth year into adult world, into further education or third level.
But you are on to something. But of course, what I'm hearing in my head is someone's going to nick that, or particularly, and there's no reason why the big colleges aren't doing it anyway. Like that there is
if somebody's going to nick it, will they bring me with them? Because I'll help them with it.
Well, of course. Listen, final question we ask everybody is, who would you hire in a heartbeat?
Okay, so I am going to say Jen Hogan, the Irish Times journalist.
Go away, go on, why?
And I've been following Jen on social media now for quite a while, and I've been reading her parent guides and her parent information that she puts on newspapers. And
you're just trying to get into the Irish Times.
I'm just hoping she'll talk to me someday. But she is a parent of 7 kids.
Is she?
Yeah, she knows parents. She talks parents. She talks students. She knows the worries. She knows what people are going through, and I love how she writes, and I love what she writes, and so I'd love her to come to Pathways.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, isn't it? Because So if you got that publicity, but you get into publicity here.
Well, I'm so delighted that you have.
I'm only joking. Jen Hogan, there's a lady coming for you, so we will we'll follow that. Plus, the best of luck with your pitch, and please come back when you go international as well, because it's a big place out there. I have no idea. Are there similar problems? Just to find, there's always a final question in my head. Is the UK? Do you have any feel at all? Is there something problem like it?
It's a different process, and I've looked at it a little bit, but I can't give you too much details on that. But it's a different process, and students go into they have to take grants out and loans out to get educated.
It's getting
a lot more than Ireland.
Yeah.
So it is a completely different process.
Well, thank you so much, Joan Broderick, for all of that, because you'll find Pathways at Pathways.ie, isn't that right?
That's it.
Well, that is it for episode 273 of That Great Business Show. And a big shout out for our lovely sponsors, De Facto Shaving Oil, world-class Irish made that leaves your skin smoother than the proverbial baby's bottom. And I've just given Joan a sample of it, thanks to Tom Murphy. And you're going to try that.
That's really good.
Oh, that is for you. Of course it is, yeah. Or you probably can use it as a present.
Oh, I'll use it myself.
Good for you. Now, if you love what you've heard, follow That Great Business Show on Spotify, Apple, Acast, wherever you get your audio fix. And of course, we are now starting, as you can see, if you're watching us on YouTube, where half of you are now listening, watching, whatever you do. A big thanks to the team here at Dublin South FM. They are Lee Brennan, Richard Ryan, Neil Horner, and the BB, the big boss, Peter Rice, for doing what they do so well, making us all sound, look, and appear so absolutely brilliant. Rate us, please. Share us, please. Tell your mates, please, because as we always say, there's nothing small about Irish business except maybe our margins. But then again, I've come across some very healthy margins as well. Anyway, that is it from, as I mentioned, episodes 273. I am Conall Ó Móráin. That is the end of this episode. Thanks for listening. And as ever, míle buíochas agus slán.